All right, welcome back, everyone, for another deep dive. This time we're taking a look at a book that's, well, it's caused a bit of a stir, you could say, in UFO circles.
Yeah.
The Day After Roswell by Colonel Philip J. Corso. Now, Roswell. I'm sure most folks listening are familiar. In 1947, the alleged UFO crash. But Corso, he goes a step further. He claims he was not just involved, but tasked with taking this recovered alien tech, and basically secretly, I mean very hush-hush, getting it into the hands of private industry.
Wow.
And he links this to some of the biggest technological advances. I mean, we're talking the 20th century.
Oh,
yeah, big stuff.
That's a big claim.
It is. It is. So, I mean, talk about scope.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, to think about like fiber optics,
Yeah.
semiconductors, things we just use every day. He's saying that came from aliens.
That's exactly what he's saying. He even points to specific, I guess you could call them artifacts from the Roswell crash. Let me find the page here. Hold on. Okay, page 123. He talks about seeing this artifact. It looked like, I kid you not, a modern-day integrated circuit, a chip.
Like a computer chip.
Exactly.
Oh.
And he suggests, well, this is what inspired or even led to the invention of the integrated circuit as we know it.
That's fascinating, but the timeline, that's where it gets a bit tricky, to say the least.
What do you mean?
Well, we know miniaturization was being talked about. You know, scientists were thinking about it back in the 40s. But the actual integrated circuit, that comes later, late 50s. And it wasn't just one person. Multiple people. Jack Kilby, Robert Noyce.
Right.
They both independently came up with the tech.
Okay, so you're saying his story doesn't line up with the accepted history.
Well, he doesn't address it at all, which makes you wonder.
Yeah. But I mean, we are talking about a former Army intelligence officer. Wouldn't he have access to stuff, information that most people wouldn't? It's got to give him some credibility, at least.
It does add a certain intrigue, you know, this insider knowledge kind of thing. But when you look at the evidence, it's mostly anecdotal. His memories, his interpretations. And we all know memories can be...
Right. They can be fuzzy.
Exactly.
So we got to be careful about just taking his word as gospel.
Exactly. It's critical thinking time.
Yeah.
We got to weigh his claims against what we know historically, scientifically. Take fiber optics, for instance. He ties it to aliens. But the science... that goes back to the 1800s. The real breakthrough is making it practical. For communication, that's the 50s and 60s. Narendra Singh Kapeni, he's the one they call the father of fiber optics.
So it sounds like Corso's maybe taking real scientific progress.
Yeah.
And just sort of, I don't know, attaching it to aliens without real proof.
It does seem that way.
But here's the thing. If there are all these holes, these inconsistencies, why do people still find this book so compelling, even today?
Well, think about when it was published, 1997, decades after Roswell, but just a few years after the Cold War ended. That time, that climate, it was nuclear fears, suspicion, secret government projects. So this idea that the U.S. might have this alien tech from Roswell, using it to get ahead, it played into some very real anxieties.
It's like maybe the book's popularity was more about Cold War fears than Corso's evidence.
Possibly, yeah. It reflects that time, you know. People were dealing with rapid tech changes, uncertainty about the future.
And Roswell, man, it's become this modern myth.
It really has.
And now we've got this new focus on UAPs, you know, unidentified aerial phenomena.
Right, the government's new term.
Exactly. It makes Corso's book, even with its controversy, it feels, well, relevant again.
Oh, absolutely. It feeds right into those theories about cover-ups, advanced tech, you know?
But let's say, just for a moment, let's say we accept Corso's account as true. Doesn't that raise some serious ethical questions?
Oh, huge ones.
Like, what should we even do with alien tech if we had it?
Exactly. And Corso himself, let me see, page 215, he expresses this worry, you know, that this technology, it's too powerful. Releasing it to the public could disrupt everything.
It makes you think about responsibility. The people in power, the potential for misuse, is some knowledge just too dangerous?
It's a question he really grapples with.
And it all ties into this bigger theme, secrecy. Corso's whole point is the government hid the truth about Roswell, about this alien tech.
Right, and that makes you wonder, can we trust? The official stories, are there always agendas?
It challenges everything.
It makes you think maybe there's more to our history, our technology, even our place in the universe.
Then we're being told.
Exactly.
Corso may be disputed, but he's tapped into something something big, this human need to know, to understand what's out there, what it means for us.
It's the age-old question, right? Are we alone?
And the day after Roswell, it forces us to confront those big questions, even if it doesn't give us the answers.
It's thought-provoking, even if you don't agree with it.
That's it, exactly. So we've gone deep
Yeah.
into the day after Roswell. We've looked at the claims, the evidence, the lack of evidence, the context, the questions it raises, and I'm left with this thought. What if Corso's right? What if they did recover this tech? Did they make the right call, keeping it quiet? Or did they rob us of a chance to, I don't know, to leap forward, not just with technology, but with our understanding of, well, everything?
It's a big one.
It is. It's something to think about, isn't it?
Definitely.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll be back soon with more to explore. Until then.